Man, I love that intro.
Every time, bro. Every time
Every
that intro
time.
comes on, you should hear my room, bro. It is bumping in here. It almost feels like I'm having a party in here.
You got the whole subwoofers and everything blowing
Yeah,
out your
bro,
windows.
it's going off.
Love it, love it. Well, welcome guys and gals. Super excited to have you all here for another multifamily Q&A. I'm super excited as always. I feel like I learn something new every time, or at least relearn it to myself. So I'm super happy to be here.
Oh man, are we just gonna coin that, bro?
I think so, man. That t-shirt. I got you. I got you. Hang on.
Bro, you cut off just a little bit, bro.
Again.
Yeah, just a little bit. It goes off here and there. But let's welcome some of these people that are joining in. Joel, what's up, man? He says Daddy
I'm
Mud
gonna go.
and Oscar. What's up, Max?
Daddy mud. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, bro, you're cutting in and out.
I see. Sorry. 1 second. Let me go switch.
Yeah, you're good, bro. Is it Carolina or Carolina? Nice to have you here. Let's go. And then we've got the Kingdom. What's up? The fire's in the chat. Joel, soon to be daddy, man. Bro. Oh man. Putting me on the spot there, man. This is like the third time, brother. Love it. Well, thank you guys for showing some love. Like some of these guys who are always here showing love, like Joel. Yara, how's it going? Max, anyone who's new, let us know as well. Guys, this is a multifamily Q&A. So you guys have any questions multifamily related, now's your chance. Let's get some questions going in the chat, guys. Yara, what's up? Joel with the soon-to-be dad. You crack me up, brother. Crack me up. Cool. Well, if no one has any questions at the moment, actually, I got a question here from Joel. What do you find most of your private money lenders? By talking to people, tons of people, Joel, tons and tons of people, and you know what? You'll never know if they're a private money lender unless you ask the question. And a lot of the times I'll just ask them like, hey, what is your goals? Or I'll start the conversation like that. Like, what are your goals? Like, what is it that you want to do? And depending on that conversation goes, then I'll just steer left or right, wherever you need to, and find those people. Obviously, present them too with good opportunities. That helps out a lot. But literally, it's just talking to people, Joel. That's all you do. Go out there and talk to people because anybody and everybody could be your private money lender. So go out there and create those relationships. Yara says she's a gator. Well, Yara, we need to have a conversation. Where you been? No, I'm kidding. Joe says, what are some great sources? Sources for what? Multifamily? There's a lot of them. I think you're part of most of the ones that we're part of as well. And we don't stop learning even there. Like we're still looking for more sources to get. Or are you talking about the private money? Okay, gotcha. So I think that's in continuation to your question. What are some great sources? Networking events, they're the best. Events like right now, like in the chat, there's a good opportunity. You can find a private money lender in the chat, offline, different communities, many different ways, man. It's just go out there and get known. And also it goes back to not what you know, but it's more like who knows you, or not. Okay, I butchered that. It's not who you know; it's who knows you.
There you go. I'm back, guys. I made it.
What's up, Ryan? Hey, Joseph is back.
Hope I didn't miss anything awesome.
Just some good questions from Joel. Yara's asking, do you guys host this Zoom every Monday? Yes, every Monday we do Q&A from 8, typically an hour long, 8 p.m. Central for about an hour. And then we also do on Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Central, we do the good, the bad, and the ugly. So just a recap of our week. And then on the bottom of your screen, we do private Zooms. They're free every Friday at 12 p.m. Central. And right now we've got an amazing series, guys, going on. It's the multifamily from acquisition to closing, from A to C. C as in closing. So if you're not on there, you should be on there because we're teaching you our business model and how we go from acquiring a deal all the way to the closing table. And we just went through part 1 last Friday. So this Friday will be part 2. Don't miss it, guys. We've got some great stuff in the works, specifically for week 3, Joseph. I haven't told you, but for week 3,
Ooh,
we've got something really, really good planned for you guys. I mean, that's going to be the mic drop on week 3.
I love it. I love it. I'm excited. You got me all pumped up. And I'm working in behind the scenes. Hey, I want to just point this out, right? Jose's comment. Should we raise some private money for Joseph's internet? Yeah, please do, man. At this point, I don't even know if it's the internet. It might just be my laptop because KJ's works totally fine. So some private money, a GoFundMe, anything.
Joel,
I'm
go,
taking
go find,
donations.
Joel, go find private money for Joseph's.
Oh man, I I know you guys are probably just as frustrated as I am dealing with that. I show up on some of these lives and Zooms, and I'm just spitting out some knowledge, and no one can understand anything I'm saying. So yeah, I'm just happy to be here now.
Oh,
All right, I didn't mean to take away from
no,
what.
you're good, bro. That was definitely worth it.
Okay, here we go.
Jose bringing the fire in the chat.
All right, I think that's the comment you had pulled up.
Yeah,
Right.
Jake.
Okay.
Jake says, "Do you guys specialize in only multifamily right now?" That's all you, bro. Go for it.
Specialize, yeah. I mean, I guess you can say that. I mean, that's our primary focus. That's what we're focusing on. That's what we spend like 85, 90% of our time doing. Outside of that, we do still do some single family on the side. I know Oscar's been working on his little side gig too that he's been doing with his family. But primarily, yes, multifamily is the name of the game. But like I said, we still do some single family. So if you got some deals in Texas, let us know. We are buying wraps in Texas, or we can help you find a buyer for your single family deals. That's not our focus anymore. We spend the same amount of time and energy and effort doing single family that we could put into multifamily and get much greater results from doing it. Granted, it's not as quick, it's not as fast, right? But it's definitely much bigger results. So I hope that answers the question in the way you were looking for. Ooh, a gator.
I know. I
Gator
highlighted
in the
some
chat.
comments earlier, bro. I was like, we need to talk to Yara. What's going on, Yara?
Yeah,
Just or Joel. See, this is how you network in the chat, bro. I would be reaching out to Yara all day.
absolutely. All day. That's so you just said the question was how do I raise money or how do I find money? Is that what the question
How do
was?
I find private money lenders?
There you go. Boom. Someone says something like that, or hey, I just invested in this deal, or we just closed on this deal and I was an LP, or how can I get involved? Boom. Instantly reach out to that person, start talking to them, build the connection. That's what you should do every time.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. It wasn't even a question, but we turned it into one. I love it.
There you go.
What's up, Jaden? Good to
Jaden,
see you, bro.
dude, every time I see that picture, bro,
I know. You guy's jacked.
I know. How do I get to your level, bro?
All right, here we go. Max, same question. How do we learn more about raising capital? I don't know what you had answered, but you could also start following people that give that information, like Amy Majori and Vina Jetty. Vina Jetty, sorry, tongue tied there. But people that are in that field and they specialize and focus on that, you should start there. In addition to what Oscar said, I know
he said go to meetups and things like that. That's absolutely a great place, but you could start learning from other people too.
For sure.
Oh, I got a hello. So did Max. Oh, another hello. Look at that. Oscar was the afterthought this time.
I know, dude, but that's okay. I respect those guns he's got, bro. I'm just still freaking.
Stupid. All right, here we go. What is the typical process of capital raising? What are the steps you take creating relationships to getting them on the deal? Ooh, there you go. That's a good one. That's all you, man.
Yeah, no, good question, Joel. So I'll just tell you how I do it. I mean, I just talk to people. Really, that's all it is, bro. It's a conversation. Most and foremost, the thing that you have to prioritize is the relationship itself, Joel. Because a lot of times people won't just invest in a good deal. Yeah, it could be the greatest deal in the world, but if they don't know, like, or trust you, they're not going to put their money in that deal. So most and foremost, I would say focus on nurturing and creating that relationship first. And then after that, you're on a mission. You're still on a mission, Joel. You want to make sure that you let them know what exactly it is as well. If it fits everything that they're looking for, if they're wanting to do something with their money and you know they have money and you guys have a relationship, all it is just finding where and what fits their model. That's it. So whatever steps that I take from reality, it's just getting to know them at first and then seeing if they're a fit for me and vice versa if they're a fit for us as well, or that type of thing. So that's where I would start. And then once I get to know that yes, they're wanting to do something in this space, then the next steps are okay, well, series of questions that I ask to make sure that they are taken care of and make sure that the deal fits for them. That's it.
And this could be anybody. It could be somebody at your gym. It could be somebody you meet in the freaking grocery store one day or whatever it is. Like KJ and I, we went to get an ultrasound and we just started talking to the nurse, asked what she did in her free time. And now she's another potential person that is interested in investing with us because we found out through the conversation that her and her husband were thinking about buying single family rentals and starting to kind of build a portfolio for themselves. So we told them, like, why would you do that when you can just buy an apartment building? And they're like, well, how do we do that? Boom. Instantly, I just start explaining how they could do that. I let them know, like, I do this all day. This is my job. Same as you're finding baby mud right now with the ultrasound, like that's your job. Well, this is my job. This is what I do. I help people invest in real estate. So, good question, bro. Joel, always bringing the heat. Okay. What's the difference directly going to the PML versus being the middleman of all the lenders? Is this person an actual private money lender or is this an LP? Because a private money lender and your LPs or your investors are different. They're not the same thing. So first, we got to make that distinction. And then I guess the next part, like, what's the difference? Okay, when you're going to private money, you're raising money or you're borrowing money with specified terms, right? And then they get paid those terms, whatever's agreed to. That's what a private money lender. When it's an LP or an investor in one of your deals, there's no contract saying that they're going to get X amount of terms for this period of time or whatever it is. They're just investing. They're putting money into your deal or into the deal, and you're going to give them a projection of what you think or what you're estimating according to your business plan that they're going to get, but they're not locked into those terms. So it is a little bit, I guess, riskier, you could say, but at the same time it's safer because it's a much bigger asset versus usually it's a single family. When you have multifamily, if you think of it this way, let's say you had a 20 unit, let's say you had 20 single family houses and you had a 100-unit property and you had 5 vacancies on both. Which one is the better situation? Obviously, the one building with the 100 units and only 90 or 5% vacant versus the other one that is what? One, two, three, four, five. A fourth vacant, of 25% vacant. Sorry, I had to do the math there. So one of them is 25% vacant, the other one's 5%. But you have one building versus 20 buildings, right? So there's a bunch of differences involved in that. I'm not kind of like going all over the place with this answer, but I'm trying to kind of bring it back here. And then being the middleman of all the lenders, I don't really know that you're ever really the middleman. The only time you'd ever really be the middleman is if you're bringing somebody into a deal
to raise capital.
Yeah, that would be the only time I could see that you're a middleman.
Broker capital type of thing.
Yeah, and at that point, you have to have some kind of already arranged agreement with whoever you're bringing the money into, whether you have a GP position in the general partnership, or if you're going to get paid a flat fee for bringing or not bringing capital. That's something that we learned, is that whether or not you actually bring the capital, you still have to get paid that fee. Otherwise, you're violating SEC rules on that.
Yeah, let me get the banner for you, bro.
Yeah, there you go. Pull it up for me. Because we are not attorneys, guys. We just some two idiots on the internet that learned enough to be dangerous. That's it.
Hey, speak for yourself, bro.
I'm just kidding. Hey, if you can't make fun of yourself, then what are you doing, right?
Bro, I just butchered the other one earlier. What's that saying? The one that I just said earlier.
Oh yeah, it's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Yep, I just butchered it, bro.
It's all good. That's all good. So if you want to know, I guess, more about that, Joel, ask us another question so I can give you a guided or a directed answer rather than just kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, and then he's chopping on my internet. Section 8 internet. Wow. Oh, someone else looking to get their internet funded. KJ in the side chat, if you're on YouTube, click that link and go. I mean, if you're not on YouTube, click that link so you can join in on the side chat and talk to Joel and Jose and Yara. Did I say that right? I hope I did.
You did.
Okay, let's see what we got. She said LP. I have a question about that. Let it rip. Let us know. You might have already put it in there. Yeah, if you could put it in the side chat, we definitely would love to answer that for you. My guy Jaden helping me out with the whole computer situation. My guy. Okay. Joelle, it says, from our wholesale deals, rather than keeping it in the bank and pay tax, would you say it would be a good idea to put it into a deal as an LP or PML/Gator, or hold on to it for entry fees for props?
Mm-hmm.
It's a loaded question.
That's like the chicken or the egg type of question.
Yeah, definitely.
You want to answer this one?
Yeah, I can. I would say it comes back to your goals, really. It's all about what you're wanting to do. You need to have an end destination in sight. If you don't have an end destination, then you're kind of just winging it, to be honest. Like, you really need to have an end goal and then sit down with that goal and work backwards on how you envision yourself achieving it and what steps you're going to take to get there. Like, that is super, super, super important. It sounds so simple. It really does.
Yep.
But before we did that, we were just swinging at anything and that came our direction. And then once we sat down and actually did that is when we really started seeing results. And shortly after that is when we got our first property. So I highly, highly recommend you figure out what you actually want, end goal, and then work out a tentative plan on how you plan to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So if your plan is to get there by just doing wholesale deals and then dumping that money, like let's say half of it, taking half of that money, putting it aside into a self-directed IRA and putting that into deals, that's one strategy. Or you could just put it all aside and leave it there and save up to be a private money lender and then make money on your money. It's really up to how you want to go about it. But the end result should be the same. It should be what your goal is.
Yep.
I think that answered it.
I agree.
What's up, Pansy Sleep?
What's up, Pansy?
Okay, let's see. Griselda, Gator here. Another Gator in the chat. What's up with all these Gators? Are we out here in Louisiana? Or Florida? Florida too. My boy Jaden still hitting me up with the computer advice. Well, I appreciate you, man. Okay, here we go. Here's Yar's question. Oh, how much info about the syndication is shared with the LP? Oh, that's all you, brother. That's all you.
Yeah, Yara, everything and anything. And you as the LP have the right to ask anything and everything as well. Now, again, I can't speak for everyone, but as part of the operators or GPs, you are supposed to disclose everything. And a lot of that will be disclosed in your PPM. So the private placement memorandum that gets created, that's going to be shared with the LPs. Every single LP will have one. And in there, it's going to show you everything about the deal. Everything. So as a GP, your goal is to always do what's right and share everything that you can about the deal. So you should know all of it. The business plan, the raise, where the money's going, the exit, the returns, what market, everything, cap rates, all of it is shared with an LP. There's no like thing that as a GP you keep to yourself. Everything is shared. The most honest and transparent you can be with them, the better. And disclosure. Work with your attorney to make sure all the information that is on there is okay and you can disclose, and it should be. Again, yeah, we're not CPAs or attorneys. So you would consult with an attorney. Obviously, Yara, you would talk to your attorney as well if you don't feel comfortable with it, and make sure you run it through them if you don't understand any of the verbiage that's on there. But typically, when you invest with someone who is an operator or a GP, you're typically there because you like, you trust, but you still want to verify at the same time.
My God, I always bring in the heat, bro. I freaking love it. All right.
Gotta give it to the community.
Absolutely. We're here for you guys, man. I mean, I got plenty of things I could go be doing, but we're here right now for you guys. All of you. You and you and you and you and you.
Me too. Thanks, bro.
And you, bro. Yeah, absolutely.
You pointed at me at 3 different angles.
All right. Man, what's up, Carolina and Marcos? Love you guys. I met them when I was living over in Arizona.
Oh, nice.
They said, what was your guys' main reason choosing multifamily over single family? When you guys first started, I assume you knew whether it's single family or multifamily, you can make big dollars. Besides that, what was the reason? That's a great question. I would say the main reason that multifamily over single family, like, to be honest with you, I just liked it more. I liked it a lot more. There's so many things about it that I preferred over single family. And just overall, I mean, it sounds pretty badass. I'm an apartment investor. I buy apartments, right? Or I buy houses. Which one sounds a little bit cooler? So if I'm being honest, that's one reason I really did that. Now, being logical and business about it, it's scalable. It's so much more scalable. Back to that example of the single family houses and the apartments. So let's say it's equal. Let's say you had 100 single family houses and you had a one apartment building with 100 units. I mean, which one would you rather have? I would much rather have just the one building because it's one address, one set of taxes, one set of insurance, one property manager that can do the whole thing, and I don't have to worry about it being in, like, let's say that 100-unit portfolio of single family houses is in 2 states or in different counties, right? I would rather have that one centralized building where I can focus my attention on and then just keep repeating the process. It's, I mean, it sounds crazy, but I feel like, this is my opinion, I feel like multifamily is easier work, or maybe even less work overall, in the broad scheme of things. But I think that boils down to just because I enjoy it more. I like doing multifamily, so it's easier for me to do it. Versus with single family, I was good at it, I understood it, but it didn't like spark my drive. Like, I wasn't crazy about wholesaling houses, you know what I mean? It just wasn't something that appealed to me. So I would say those are my main reasons. And the business reason, like, you can make a lot more money in multifamily. You can build generational wealth by just stacking properties. And then let's say 5 years, 10 years from now, then I'm gonna get paid out big. I'm not gonna get paid early or out. I mean, I'd like to, but I'm not gonna get that big paycheck until 5, 10 years from now, whenever I either sell or refinance these properties that we're buying. So it's the long term play, but it's definitely, for me, the right play.
And then quick story on that one, Joseph, because you said which sounds better, like I buy houses or I buy apartments, right? Joseph and I and KJ went to a meetup in Houston one time,
Yeah, I love
and we were giving our name tags in a Sharpie, and they were like, write your name and put your name tag on at the sign-in table. And Joseph was first, and he put his name, right, Joseph Mudd, and then I was next, so I put my name, Oscar Jimenez, and then I put underneath multifamily investor. And he looked at mine and was like, "Oh, cool, okay." And he put multifamily investor on his too. And then KJ comes in and beats us all, and just puts KJ Mudd, and then she put I buy apartments on her thing, but it was so huge, like it took up the whole tag, and me and Joseph looked at each other, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, ours didn't compare." And
Not at all. Well, ours was like cramped
yeah,
into. We put our long ass names with the creative finance multifamily investor. I think that's what we actually put. So it took up the whole little name tag.
but
So
it was all
hers,
cramped and small, and you couldn't even read it. And KJ, I kid you not, just by putting this on her name tag with her name, she got so much attention. Like everybody stopped her and was like, "Oh, you buy apartments." And it was a conversation started throughout the whole thing. I mean,
whole night.
nobody else had that on there, and she just put that and made us all look bad. Me and Joseph over here, they're trying to read our names. You do, what is it that you do?
I saw one person actually just like give up and ask me, like, because I saw them kind of like, I was in the middle of a conversation with somebody and they started talking like into the conversation, and I could see them kind of like look down at my name tag, and they just like gave up. Hey, what's going on? I'm so and so. What's your name? Even though clearly, well, maybe not clearly, but it was there. It just didn't look good.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, I veered off the question. What was what was the reason we chose multifamily over single family? It was like a light bulb mindset shift for us, Carolina. We knew that we wanted to get into multifamily from the very beginning, but for like most of us in here, or for at least for us, when we first started, we thought we had to go through the single family, like that was the gateway in order for us to advance into multifamily. That's what we thought, right? And obviously, knowing what we know now, that's not true at all. Like you could start just in multifamily, but the real thing was we just wanted to switch, and we know that's what we wanted, and we made that switch immediately, and we just committed. We committed and didn't stop. I mean, there was a lot of shiny object syndrome along the way, and Joseph will tell you there was a lot of Airbnbs, there was a lot of portfolio single family deals, there was all these other multifamily strategies that looked very attractive, like government housing, Section 8, now a bunch of other things that came up. But for us, we knew we just wanted to get into multifamily, and we just committed, straight up committed, like didn't look back. We still do single family on the side, by the way. We still do, but multifamily is where we're at, and that's what we know. And funny story, Carolina, is that the other day, someone had brought us a single family deal, and we just, we live, breathe, talk, eat single family. I mean, multifamily. That's all we do. And when we got that deal, we were like looking at it and we were like, how do you comp again, Joseph? I don't remember how to comp.
Yeah. It was kind of embarrassing, but it was like funny at the same time. It's like
Yeah.
our brains don't think in the way of just one unit anymore. Like it was kind of hard to get back into that zone of comping just one property. So I remember that. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. So that's how committed we are to multifamily. That's all we talk about. That's all we think about. That's all we do. And again, we do single family still, but it's more or less just wholesaling on the side, single family.
Yeah. What you just said made me think of something that just happened. So this past weekend, Oscar was in town doing something, working on a little side gig he's got going on. And he came and met us up, me and KJ, over here because he was in Houston, right? And he had his niece with him.
True story.
And we sat down, started talking, and then immediately just started talking about work. Like I asked a couple things like, hey, how's it going? How did that event go? Blah, 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 blah. And maybe like 5 minutes in, we're already talking about work. And his niece, she says, so when you guys aren't working, you guys just get together and start talking about work? Like you guys always just talk about work? and I was like, yeah, honestly, that's all we talk about is just this. We just talk about multifamily all the time. And I let a little knowledge on her, and I was like, all it takes is one conversation that makes you a millionaire. So are you going to miss out on that one conversation just because you didn't know if it was that conversation or not? So I don't know. You made me think of that because
No, yeah, I told that story like 30 minutes ago before I hopped on this call.
really,
Yeah, exactly. Told that same story to somebody else. I was talking to a realtor and told her that exact same story. That's how much we talk about multifamily, even when we're not even when we're not working, we're still talking about multifamily.
Mhm.
And it's funny you mentioned that because right after that conversation that you had, that we had, and my niece was there, as soon as we were leaving, she asked me another question. She goes, something like, what? It sounds so weird because you told her something like, hey, see you later, future millionaire, or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I
Right
told
before we left. And it got her thinking, right? That conversation throughout the whole thing. And she was like, that's so weird. Like, why would he say something like that? Like, I'm not a millionaire. I was like, not yet. But think about it. If you were to start doing something now in real estate and you were hanging around all these people and one deal can make your life change forever and you're on the road to become a millionaire, wouldn't you do that? And she was like, yeah. Well, exactly. So you had her brain thinking still even
Heck
after.
yeah. I love it. That's a pro dad move, guys. I'm learning. Oh, that's funny. Man, that's awesome, bro. I feel pumped up now. That's awesome. I'm glad you shared that.
Words of wisdom.
Hell yeah. All right, let's get back to it. I know we got a little sidetracked, but that was a good question because everybody's reasoning is going to be different, but it's kind of goes back to this thing. You need to figure out what your goal is and then work backwards and then how you're going to achieve that goal. For us, it was to dive head in and go full speed ahead into multifamily. That's how we wanted to achieve the goal. All right. Pansy Sleep says, would you consider investing in Illinois? I want to get a multifamily and live in one of the units. I'm not sure how to obtain it with no money. Yeah. I think it's a landlord-friendly state. Google says it's landlord-friendly. Obviously, we would want to look further into the market in wherever that apartment specifically is. We want to make sure that city has good growth and it's a good market to invest in. But as long as it meets all that criteria, I'm not opposed to it. I'll buy anywhere that I've got a boots on the ground and it makes sense. So
Maybe Illinois.
maybe you don't like
Illinois is
Illinois?
not a landlord-friendly state, bro.
Oh, Google says it is.
Oh, really?
It says it's the top 10 landlord-friendly states of 2022. So we would need to dig further into that.
Definitely need to dig further. Because
Yeah.
I know a bunch of people will say they run away from like Chicago.
Yeah, I know Chicago is not a place I'd want to be at. But maybe the state itself overall is landlord-friendly, but probably just not Chicago. There's some places like that. I think was it Michigan? I don't remember. We were looking at one state that was a lot like that, where one county was good and the others were not, or something like that. But the easiest way to answer your question, how can you get into multifamily and live in one of the units? The easiest way would be to search in that market or where you want to be at and bring that deal to somebody that is working that market and would buy the property, and then be the boots on the ground role for that property. That way you can retain some ownership, some equity in the property, and you can secure yourself a role and just live there and be that boots on the ground. You don't always have to live at the property to be boots on the ground, but specifically for this scenario you have, that would be the way I would do it. Is go find the property, find the deal, and bring it to somebody that buys in that market and tell them, I'll bring it to you. I won't take an assignment fee, but I want equity in the deal. This is what I want. I want to be in the deal.
Mm-hmm. You tell them.
There we go. Okay. Yara says, I'm part of a syndication and I'm not happy. Everything was shared in the beginning, but after 3 years, not much. Yeah, the only thing that I would know to tell you is to, usually there's somebody that's in charge of investor relations. Usually it's the person that brought you into the deal or sourced you to go into the deal. I'd reach out to that person and just get on them. I really don't know what more you can do than that, than to just keep blowing them up, asking for reports. I want to know what's going on. What's the results right now? Where are we at? Are we on track to the business plan that was shown, or have we diverted a little bit from that? Ask every question you can think of. No question is off limits. You have money in that deal. You should absolutely be detective work for sure. It's Marcos. Just got back from back surgery. Man, you've been dealing with that since I've known you. I'm glad to hear that you're in the process of getting that fixed, man. I wish you well in recovery, speedy recovery.
For sure.
Some little cliff notes. Same effort in single family. Results, bigger dollars in multifamily.
100%.
Joel agrees. Sounds cooler saying I'm buying apartments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Has proof of concept on that, by the way, Joel.
Yes, yeah. One of our $1 million VIPs, Jose, says,
in the house.
Do you guys feel like the real beginning of the drop in values will be in September? Hearing things will get real ugly end of the year, beginning of next, with the interest hikes coming later this year. I think the honest answer is nobody really knows. It's kind of all speculation, to be honest. I definitely think it will get bad. It will get ugly. It's going to be a really great year for anybody that knows seller finance and is using those strategies.
Mm-hmm.
But as to when exactly that's going to happen, I don't think anyone can really give you that answer and be 100% accurate. It's all speculation on what they're seeing, what they've been told.
So, I would definitely, I would keep it in consideration because I think it is going to definitely get, we're going to see some changes. I don't know how bad they're going to be, but it's going to reflect on our underwriting for sure, Jose. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're doing now in most of our underwriting is we're assuming that it's either going to stay the same or get worse until otherwise. And that's us being extremely conservative on the deals. And so for sure, I'm not betting any money that it's going to get any better soon. It's going to be at least a few more years before we start seeing it either get better or somehow stabilize in some way. But I'm with you, Jose. I think something is going to happen. I don't know when.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I had to guess when it's going to start correcting, going back towards a better market, I would guess like 3 or 4 years. That's my guess. But no one really knows. I have no idea, no earthly idea, to be honest with you. But if I had to guess, and I'm a pretty good guesser. That's where I would guess. All right. C. Perkins says, when and how you ask the broker if the seller is willing to do seller financing.
Straight up.
That's the answer.
C. Perkins. That's one of the very first few questions I ask before I get off the phone with that broker. Hey, is the seller open to seller financing or owner financing? And it's a simple yes or no.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you got it, bro. You got momentum, bro. Go.
No, I was gonna hit you with another question on that. I was gonna say, what if in the initial questioning, right? Because obviously we want to get that information, loan assumption, seller finance. We want to get all that stuff up front. What if up front they say, no, we're not interested in seller finance, and they just leave it at that? What do you do after that?
I still submit a seller finance.
Hell yeah, still do it. Here's your shot. Here's your shot.
Yeah, still submit it anyway because you don't know, right? I mean, that can be another option on top of the cash offer that you're sending. C. Perkins.
I think it's Cecilia.
Oh, really?
I may be totally wrong, but that's my guess.
Well, if it's Cecilia, what's up, Cecilia? How are you?
But
yeah,
solid answer, Oscar. That's exactly what I was going for. I would, even if they still say no, I would look at it as an option because we don't want to just submit one offer, submit multiple to give them options. I like to sandwich them in between. That's what I'd like to do is here's our cash offer. If there's an assumable loan, here's that offer. And then our seller finance offer with maybe a hybrid, a mixture of the first or the second or all three, whatever makes sense. And I want to sandwich that offer that I want them to actually take. I'm gonna put it in between a really crappy one and a really good one that's favored heavily towards us. That's what I like to do.
Give them options. Good question.
Okay. Joel says paycheck comes 5 to 10 years after getting paid off or selling. When I say that we don't get paid until 5-10 years, that's when you should be, based on every deal is going to be different, but based on that specific deal's underwriting, your exit strategy, you get paid on the exit for most deals. Some deals have really good cash flow. Some deals you can pay yourself a huge acquisition fee up front. Not very likely, but some deals, every deal is different. But most deals you get paid on the back end when you sell or refinance, depending on your exit strategy. I see Yara and Joel having a conversation further about the LP thing. I know that in the operating agreement, there should be some kind of verbiage or wording as far as what you can do in a situation like that. So what I would do is get a hold of the agreement that's in place, the operating agreement that houses the LLC that you are a part of as an LP, and then get an attorney involved. Have them review that contract. That's what I would do to figure it out. In addition to what I said earlier, getting a hold of your investor relation person and just grilling them with questions. Okay. I'm looking. Someone else said Illinois is very blue. That's what I thought too. Google's lying to me then. Because I pulled it up when I saw that question. I wouldn't be in Chicago. That's good. Hey, some dad advice. I love it. I'm doing something right out here.
I can confirm.
Here we go. I'm going to butcher that last name, so I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to say David Pat to save myself a little bit here. So David, I have 3 Illinois multifamily opportunities, need to connect with partners to take them down. Illinois is a tenant-friendly state. They're a blue state, but I'm from there and don't care. I'd make it work. Boom. David and Pansy Sleep, you guys need to link up, reach out to each other. David is on Facebook. So Pansy, if you want to reach out to David, I'm not even going to try and say your last name, man. I'm sorry. But reach out to him on Facebook. He's got some opportunities for you to potentially be a boots on the ground. And then
Or David can go to the YouTube channel as well if you want to get into action.
There you go. Yep. There's the link. There's the link right there. Hopefully that helps. Hey, if we ever have a deal done in the side chat on any one of these lives, we would love to hear about it, guys. Doesn't matter if we're involved in it, but if we somehow, some way put together a deal by association in the side chat, that would be super awesome. We'd love to hear about it. Okay, let's see. I see. Here we go. Would you say smaller multifamily can be more of quicker cash flow up front, but less cash on the back end versus bigger deals, smaller up front, bigger on the back end? I would say, yeah, boom, solid, perfect. Yeah, it's all about the underwriting, because you could structure the small multifamily in multiple different ways. Where one, it's going to have better cash flow but a small payout in the back, or you could structure it vice versa to have almost no cash flow but a huge payout on the back. Yep. It's just how you are able to structure it and what you can agree on with the seller. So it doesn't necessarily matter the unit size. It's just how you structure the deal.
Yeah.
Man, my boy coming in clutch with that banner. I love it.
Bro, I now know how to use this thing. I'm dangerous now. Look, check this out.
I know. I put that one in today. All right. Look, I was right. It is Cecilia.
Hey, awesome. What's up, Cecilia?
Okay. Joelle says, I'm actually curious, what are your health habits / daily routines, like they say it really affects our efficiency?
Wow, no one's asked that question before.
I know.
That's crazy.
That's a good question. I'm gonna be honest with you, mine are awful right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you, dude. Like, I'm not. I was doing really good like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was doing pretty good. It's just right now it's almost non-existent. I'm eating. Well, I've been eating pretty good actually, but daily routine is almost non-existent. My routine is trying to get as much work done as much as possible while KJ and I deal with the baby and figure out how to make her stop crying. That's pretty much what my life consists of right now.
He's now a dad. He's working on his dad bod, Joel. So he's doing great.
It's coming in full effect. And it's not a dad bod, it's a father figure. Thank you very much.
Father figure. There you go. Politically correct here. I got corrected right now. So health habits, daily routines. It's I'm doing 75 hard, and I've been on it since the beginning of January. So that's what I'm doing. So health habits, like working out, daily routines. Yes, I'm working out every day. Nothing too extravagant. I'm definitely not doing like a P90X or get ripped in 90 days or anything like that. I'm not like my boy Jaden here in the chat where he's like all ripped and anything. But I am doing some daily routines that involve me working out twice a day, and also eating healthier. It doesn't say like specific diet. It just says eat healthy or stick to a diet. So I am eating some good stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So good things to do: read, work out, get up early, drink lots of water. Those are all some things that I was doing. It's just not right now. So
it's true. I can confirm he was definitely doing 75 hard with me, but then the baby came. So, we got to cut him some slack. And now he's got to work on his father figure. That's his routine right now.
Yeah. So far, it's been working pretty good. So if I can close like 5 deals from this, I might just keep doing it. No, but in all seriousness, you just got to do whatever brings you joy. Like, life isn't about just working every single second of the day. You should take the moments that you can and enjoy them, and put, like we were saying earlier, like Wooden to his niece about having the conversation, right? But instead of the conversation, what if I go do this workout and do just today, if I only focus on today and get this workout done, or read this book, or read 10 pages, or eat this healthy meal versus the fried chicken or whatever it is, right? Just making those conscious decisions will be a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
And I can absolutely notice the difference when I am doing the right things versus when I'm not doing the right things.
And by the way, I'm not gonna lie, that fried chicken sounds really good right now.
I know. I'm about to go eat after this.
Bro, that's all that's been on my mind ever since I started this thing is pizza and fried chicken. I was like, how am I gonna get to those? And it gets easy, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I miss some fried chicken.
Yeah, man. Now you're making me hungry. Making me hungry. Oh, look, here we go. I got one more question here on the side. Oh, look. Pansy found David. Way to go. I hope that is $1 million connection. I hope it works out. Like Jose said, millionaire matchmaker. All right, here was that question. Are you ever considering new developments, multifamily in the near future? Hell yeah, definitely. I would love to have some brand new properties. For us, our buy box though, we want to see some stabilization in these properties. That's what we'd be looking for. We want to see that it's for a new development at least 90%. Like we want to see it at 90% so we can get new debt on it because usually they'll have a construction loan. But it all just depends on the underwriting. If the deal makes sense and it's in a good market, absolutely, we're on board.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to be building these properties, but I don't expect that for a while. I mean, shit, if it happens, it happens, but it's not what we're focused on right now. Not at all. It's riskier, especially when that would be your first one. So, not trying to do that right now. All right. I think. Oh, breaking new ground for new development. Oh yeah, no. We're not focused on that. You'd be looking more for a developer, someone that's going to do the groundwork first before you do the vertical. So yeah, you'd be looking for a developer. But we do have a guy that does that.
He's a solid guy, by the way.
40 years experience in development.
Super solid.
Yeah, so we got a guy. Mm-hmm. And if he wanted to bring us on as silent partners, then I would not be opposed to doing it.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I'll take a look at it.
Absolutely. So we got a guy.
Definitely.
And that's a prime example of all this business is just meeting people and just remembering who you met. That's probably the hardest part is to remember who you actually met and then keeping track of it and keeping constant in that relationship. Mm-hmm. So I think that's it. I think that's all we got.
Bro, this was one of my slides, and I think you remember, Jose, on Friday. Consistency is key. Definitely. And just to mention this real quick, a good transition over to the Friday Zooms, guys. I went through this first part. Joseph and I went through the first part of the multifamily acquisition to closing series that we're doing. And part one was on Friday, last Friday. And I talked about that specifically. I think if anything, if you guys watched it and you got anything out of it, that's the part that I wanted to stress to everyone is that consistency is key. Because we didn't get to where we are now by just trying it out for like a month or two and then saying, oh, it didn't work out. See you later, right? Let's go to the next best thing. No, it was us staying true, showing up every single day. Even when we didn't want to show up, we were still there. I mean, there was days where I barely rolled out of bed, and so did Joseph. Both of us just rolled out of bed because we've been working the night before so much that we went into the meeting straight up. And Joseph, he's hiding his hair right now, but
oh yeah, man, look, it's
a
little rough.
He would come in the meetings and be like,
it'd be like this.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, consistency is key, guys. Whatever you're doing in multifamily, it's not going to be quick. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take some work, especially if you're like us when we first started, no money, no experience, didn't know what the heck we were doing. It took time, a lot of work, and a lot of Joseph holding me accountable for a lot of the stuff too.
Yeah, and same. I honestly think that's the best part about having a group that you can work with is the accountability, because without that, I don't know that I would have been as consistent as I was and still do now. So having that person that not only like what's the word, encourages you to show up and do what you need to do, but you don't want to let them down, because if you're not doing what you need to do, then they're hurting or they have a negative outcome from you not doing what you need to do. So I think it's a double-edged sword, but I love having it for sure.
It pushed everyone to make sure we got things done, and it got done in a timely manner. That's the best part of it. It got done real quick. If you guys aren't signed up for the Friday Zooms, the link is literally going across the screen at the bottom. It's the zoom.milliondollarupside.com. Again, it's free. Just sign up for it every single Friday at 12 p.m. Central. We're going through a Zoom where we give you guys a ton of value. Like right now we're doing Q&A, but in the other one it's actually structured, and we're now having slides for you guys. So it's actually like, for me, I'm a visual person. I told this to Joseph and KJ too. KJ's the same way. If I ever go to a restaurant and I look at their menu and it's nothing but words, you lost me already.
He just orders off the kids menu at that point.
Yeah, you lost me. Like, add some pictures, make it easy for the people to understand. And KJ and I are the type of learners where we're very visual. So when we see slides in front of us, it helps us retain that information and for us to read it a lot better. So we made it last week where we had a bunch of slides for you guys, for those visual people, and it helped out a lot. So going forward, we'll do the exact same thing.
Oh, look, for those of y'all that are in the side chat right here, another millionaire matchup right there. Man, that came out weird. Leah has a friend that owns the development and hospitality acquisition company. He's looking to hire a senior account manager to oversee project development and acquisitions. They just got awarded a government contract of $600 million bid to build. Hell yeah. Way to go. You should absolutely either partner with him or find a deal to bring him. That's what I would recommend. You got that person that's a friend of yours that's got buying power like that or the experience like that. I would absolutely leverage them. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And don't do it in a way that's greedy. Bring value first. Like, bring them a deal. Bring them something that shows like, hey, I'm committed. I'm here. I'm ready to work. Let's make it happen. What do I need to do? What do I need to do to have that position? So, right? Something like that. I don't know. I don't know your relationship with that person, but I would absolutely try and get in their circle. If they're doing things like that, I would absolutely get in that circle. Okay. Oh, where'd it go? There you go. Who, not how. There you go. Ask the bird dog for them. Hell yeah. Figure out what they're looking for. We could potentially bring up some stuff too. There you go. Now we all get paid. Awesome, guys. Well, that's it. I don't have anything else. Oscar, do you have anything else?
No? I don't have anything else other than, if you're not following us on Instagram, then our handles are both right in front of your screen. Mine is at Oscar Jimenez 10X. Joseph, you want to give yours out real quick?
Yeah, it's at Joseph Mudd with an underscore, because apparently there's an imposter Joseph out there.
Dang. That's not cool. And also, if you guys aren't part of our Facebook group, it's at the bottom. It's Multifamily, the $1 Million Upside. So plug in to that community with us, because that's where we announce a lot of the things that we do. And we're going to be doing a lot of stuff in there too. So I can't wait, man. I almost spilled the beans, Joseph, but we're doing a lot of good things.
I'm still waiting to hear the beans, man. I'm still waiting. And let me see in the side chat, guys. If you're tired of hearing me and Oscar talking all the time and you want the ladies to come on, let me see how many people we can get on the chat. Like, because if we can get enough people that want them to come on, I might be able to. I don't know about Ione, but I could probably convince KJ.
Someone need to bring her like $1,000 unit deal for her to hop on this YouTube or something.
Oh, she'd be on here though for that. Guarantee it. Well, awesome. Look at that. You hear that, ladies?
You put them on the spot.
That's funny, man. But yeah, no, that's all I have, guys. I hope we were able to provide some kind of value for you guys. I hope that y'all learned something and take anything that we've given you guys and start closing some deals or finding them. At least bring us problems to solve. We want to help. That's what we're here for. So that's all I got, guys. I'm gonna hit it with a dope outro, and that's it. Bye, guys.